we have an example of a text model which is published on Toolbox. It's like one of the very simple text model in Roblox compared to the other ones. It is a very simple model. It has a word structure similar to that and a board, a signboard. On it, there is an area, and a very specific area that says text here. Now, we can actually connect this text, the one that's written, through a script. So, for example, this text would be connected to one of our scripts in Lua, which we will code. And also, we're going to make this text kind of triggered up. How? We're going to set up a trigger box, for example, a part below. And as soon as your player, who is going to be stepping onto this trigger part, will trigger something for that text to change. So this trigger part is also going to be connected to the same script. And as soon as you're going to step on this trigger part will initiate something like a code, maybe to change the text. That's going to be over there. So we're going to make it more practical. Let's see. Sharing my screen. I'll explain you through its stages. Okay. So can you see the Roblox studio now? Can you see the Roblox studio on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to understand every step here. If you don't, stop me. I'll explain you in detail. Good?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Toolbox. Second, from the models, I'm going to search for text. There is a sign, which is a very simple one, like a text quote sign. Second one or the first one, you can go with any one of those. Got a text sign here, and I'm going to rotate this text sign. Let's rotate it. Okay. Let's increase the scale. Okay, that looks good. You can actually change this text sign the way you like. It's basically wooden planks, and I think, yeah, it's wooden planks and brown color. This text sign model has 3 parts in it. Part, text. One part is the width, that's behind. One part is the stand, the holder, and the other is the text. The text is itself a part, which has a surface GUI. Inside, you have a text label. We will be doing all of this thing through scripting. But if you want to just design it in detail, you can click on the part. Let's say I'm going to change it to purple. Change the material to maybe metal. It's up to you. I'll change it to foil. And this part, the one that's holding the sign, will be changed to lighter purple. And so we have a few parts. I'm changing it to lighter purple, and let's say the material for this. Okay. You can change more. Now the text sign, it's up to you to change all these things, but let's just keep it the way it is. Next is I'm going to click on the surface GUI. Inside the text surface GUI text label, this is the main thing. Text label can be changed. It's up to you. Like, for example, you can change the background color. I'll change it to black, and background transparency back to 0, so it goes away. You can create a border color. Let's say I'm going to keep it red, and increase the border pixel, or you can change the border design. All these things are over here. Border mode, I would say middle. And coming down to the text area, let's say rich text. Text would be hello, Olivia.
No.
Or you can keep it the way you like. The text again, I'm going to change it to red. And the font family, not Arial. I'm going to go with more cartoonish. That looks good. This would be so scary. Let's go with this one. This one. Not that. Not Comic Sans. This one. Where is it? We have different ones. Feature. What about this? That's scary. Well, I'll just keep it to... yeah, that looks good. I know the colors are kind of very scary, so maybe I'll change the background color to something. And text color to white. Okay, for cyan. Okay, that looks kind of okay. And once you're done with this, you can still increase the text size. It looks good enough for now. We'll keep on changing it. For now, I just created the text sign similar to this. And in front of this text sign, I'm going to add a part, which is going to be the trigger part. So I'm going to just keep that part over here. Make sure that text sign model is anchor. Also, this part should be anchor. This is a trigger part, so I'm just going to keep it to yellow. And material, let's keep it foil. Not foil, I'll keep it to neon. Right. So the sign model, I'm renaming it as my sign. While the trigger part, I'm just going to name it as trigger. Well, let's do this step on your side, just to say this is how it's going to work. We got one model, a text sign model from the toolbox. So if you go to toolbox, you have this text sign model here. Here are the few steps you would need to do. Step number 1, you're going to go to toolbox and search for text. This is step 1. Step 2, you're going to get any one of these, either 1 or 2. Once you get that thing, you need to add that thing over here, change everything through properties. So if you go to the properties, like I'm going to select the sign model, which is over here, you can change all the properties of it. Everything can be changed over here. Good? So we got step 1, 2, this is step 2, select the model. step 3, step 4. Can you do it? Now we will be connecting things. Just to more visualize thing, we have a sign, a port over here, and the next two important things are the text here, the text, and this trigger port. So these two things are gonna be added. Our script is inside this port called the script that we just connected. So we are connecting this script over here. Now we need to reference this specific text sign here, the text, not the whole sign, only the text, into our script. So the first thing we're gonna do is we will say, I'm gonna make it bigger. I need to just connect this text. So I'll say local text. How? I'm gonna look for my game, look for something called my sign. No, it doesn't show yet. So game, go to workspace. From workspace, search for my sign. Here is how you're connecting. Take a look. You're saying from game, go to workspace. From workspace, search for my sign. And from my sign, I'm gonna connect for surface GUI, text surface GUI, and from there the text label. This text label will be connected to this word. That's what you call referencing port. So I'm going to say game, workspace, my sign. From my sign, we're looking for text. From text, we're looking for surface GUI, and from surface GUI, the text label. Done. So anything that happens to this label can be, it will be able to access all the properties of this text label. So we'll see how this would work. I'm going to remove those linings. So we got this text here, and the text would say text.text, not transparency, only the text. Your text was hello, the people of something, right? I would say touch, stand on trigger. You can change this text up to you. It's up to you. You don't need to follow me. Next, we need to connect the port, the trigger port. As a trigger port has a script inside it, and it's the parent of that script. You can simply say local trigger equals script.parent. For example, as the script is a child of this port, parent is the trigger, you connect the port itself. So the referencing is done. We got the text connected. We got the trigger connected. So the step 1 is done. Next, we need to make a function. So what's a function? All that you remember? You don't need to type. Yes. Oh, you don't need to type with. You can type after me. I'll send the script to you for easy understanding. You don't need to type together. So the function is when you do a task, or let's say when a task runs, or you can say do an activity, doing an activity, or task when called. So I'm creating a function. Let's say local function. The function is on touch. And this is something we have done many times. So we will be saying enter. First, we need to find who the character is. To find the character, I would say whenever someone touches, we want to know the part touched. So part touched. Once we can find what the part is touching, part touched.parent is the character. Now we need to find the humanoid. So from character, find first child, all first letter is capital, which is a humanoid. Coming down, if humanoid, and I'm going to create a logical variable similar to what we did before. God false. So if the person is humanoid and the god is false, then we would change the text. Text would say use stepped on trigger, and maybe you can change the color for the text to text.background color, color3.new. You can pick any new background color at this stage. So I might change the color to, I have purple, I'll just change it to blue. And text color, I'll keep it white itself. Then wait for, and God returns to true for a couple of seconds. Yes.
Got it.
So God, let's say wait for 5 seconds. And after that, we will change this thing back. So try stepping again. Stepping on trigger again. We can change the color here back to purple. And this goes to false. Now this is not going to run until you call the function. So calling a function when someone touched the trigger. So the function runs when the trigger is being touched. So when the trigger part is going to be touched by anyone, we're going to connect the function called onTouch. Let's test it out. All right, so we got this yellow trigger part and it says stand on trigger. I'm gonna go and stand on trigger. It says you stepped on trigger. And after 5 seconds, this would change. Pretty cool, right? Try stepping on trigger again. The step on trigger, it keeps doing that. We can also change the color of the part over here. just make sure it looks pretty interesting. So I'm going to go on top, zoom in, say trigger.color 3, color 3.new. I'll change it to green or yellow it is. And when you're going to step on it, the color would change to green and back to yellow. Let's see, again, running. So when you're on top of this, you're going to walk forward, stand on trigger. Standing on trigger, the color changes to green. And after 5 seconds, it changes back to yellow. You can keep doing that thing. Cool?
Yeah.